But he is innocent until a court of law proves him guilty. I would love to speak to Barry Morphew. I have a lot of questions that I would ask him. If he felt he didn't have to answer them, that would be fine too. But I would love to speak to him. So, Barry, if you happen to stumble upon my channel, please get a hold of me. I will leave my email in the description. Now, when he refused the lie detector test, the CBI was very specific with Andy Moorman of when he refused it. It was on the 4th day that he refused it. So he complains he's the only one being looked at. Well, considering the statistics, considering that your stories are not adding up, and going on and on about his demeanor that more than one person has come forward to say was very aggressive. That's why I kind of mentioned roid rage before. That's one of the first thoughts I had about Barry Morphew by his build at his age, and also his what I call roid brow. It's almost like that Frankenstein roid brow. So his demeanor, the face changing, because the pictures in the past do not look like that. And also just the fact he has roid brow, his demeanor, and his body for his age leads me to believe that there is a possibility. I do not know this, I'm speculating, but I'm speculating from experience of being around someone who was on steroids. I'm just saying that it sure looks familiar to me. Now, Barry Morphew also moved to a condo. I don't necessarily want to say where his condo is because, like I said, the man is innocent until proven guilty. I wish to God the man would come out and say and show things to make or to prove that he is innocent. But he sure isn't. Kind of like when he had told Fox 21 News that he couldn't eat and he couldn't sleep. But yet the Daily Mail, with one of their huge zoom lenses, caught a picture of him out grilling hamburgers. Wonder who was eating them if he doesn't eat. Seems that Barry Morphew is just not a truthful person right now. If he was truthful, that would make the biggest difference in the world as far as believing him. Now, he also browbeat Suzanne Morphew, according to Andy Moorman, because, and I feel bad even saying this, because, I don't know, I feel like I'm telling her personal information, but until we can get to the bottom of all of this, some things we have to tell, just to show his demeanor and his attitude, how he treats people. She was so very sick with her cancer that she contemplated marijuana to help her with her nausea and everything else. The woman had cancer, for crying out loud. In a lot of states, it's medicinally legal. That just goes to show narrow-mindedness. And why would you want your wife to suffer knowing she's going through cancer? And then you would browbeat her over one thing she felt, I'm sure, pulling straws to feel better. And then he browbeat her over it. Again, it goes to show his demeanor. And that came from, again, Andy Moorman. Like I said, Andy Moorman stayed quiet for a long time and let bits and pieces out here and there. But I think he's to the point where he's fed up and done with it. Just like his statement, Don't be a coward, Barry. You don't want to go down like this. Lead law enforcement to her and bring her home. So his words, he's no longer picking and choosing wisely to not come off as blaming Barry, but now he's pointing out exactly the things he sees and the things that he wants changed. And he wants people to know that will help with the investigation. So now, also, Andy Moorman begged Barry Morphew, step to the plate and work with law enforcement. Now, Andy Moorman has a boots on the ground search for Suzanne that will be on September 23rd. And anyone that can make it, please do. If I'm not mistaken, there may be, is it a website or a text where you can join and sign up for it? I can get that for you if you are interested in that. Again, it's on September 23rd. He is traveling with over 300 people, not including the people in Colorado, to search. I commend every effort that Andy Moorman is making. Deep in my soul, I just don't feel like she's in that area anymore, sadly. I hope I'm wrong. Now, Suzanne Morphew texted a lot to talk to Andy Moorman. And he said that Suzanne Morphew had confided that maybe things weren't so great on the home front. So that goes back to what I said before with the all of, the different things that the marijuana that he didn't want her to try to help her feel better during a cancer treatment. Him browbeating her over certain things. I don't know. It really shows a bad thing. And when John Schmidt says, I saw evil in his eyes, that's scary. Now, close family of Suzanne Morphew said there were no obvious issues in their marriage, though Barry Morphew could sometimes appear controlling. Now, that was from a close family member. Now, I also have something that I want to ask. I want to know the dynamics between Barry Morphew and Suzanne's family. I think that would be interesting to find out, just for the simple fact that did they not get along with Barry in the very beginning? Did he show them signs from the beginning to make them think or know how he is and his demeanor and his controllingness, his browbeating? What was the dynamic between the family and Barry? Also, the reason I ask that is because Andy is desperately trying to get his sister home. And it makes me wonder what kind of dynamic was there for him to be coming out and jumping up and down and screaming now, hey buddy, where's my sister? I want her home. So I'd like to know the dynamics of not only Suzanne and Barry's relationship, which we're seeing a little bit of that now. Actually, we're seeing a lot of that now. But I would also like to know the dynamics between Barry and her family, because they seem very adamant that Barry is the only suspect and they lean towards him being being the culprit. Let's put it that way. So I want to read off the tip line, but again, I'm just now doing this whole editing thing on my new computer, but I want to read off the tip line in case I can't get it up somehow. I'm trying to feel my way through this. The tip line is 719-312-7530. Now, there is, I think, just a couple more things that I wanted to say about it, and I believe that is it. Now, I also wanted to mention, I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video, as far as this animal attack, Barry Morphew's an avid hunter and of big game. So Barry Morphew would know that Suzanne was not taken off of that bicycle with or by a wild animal. There was an expert on Nancy Grace the other day, and she said that I'm sure the law enforcement checked within 50 miles because a cat like that will only take their prey up to 50 miles from where they snatched it. So that's kind of interesting. So that makes me know exactly why law enforcement was pretty adamant that that didn't happen, even though Barry Morphew insisted it's a possibility. So there was one more thing that I wanted to mention. I can't remember what it is right now, but I am also going to speak to someone that knew Suzanne Morphew and her family. And I am hoping to get her on here with me, not just speak to her and get information as much as she has, however long she was around her. So please look for the next video because I have a feeling it's going to be a really good one. I want you guys to comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about Andy Morphew's perspective on all of this and tell me what you think about it. The last thing that I was going to say is that FBI has interviewed lots of people in Indiana as well. They interviewed over 80 people. But again, back to my original statement. How many other people did they interview for 30 plus hours on 3 occasions? I can't imagine it being too many people. So I guess we will just now have to wait and see what happens. But thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you come back to watch. Like I said, I will be speaking with someone that is, I don't know, quite a friend. She knew Suzanne. She knew the family. She grew up with them in Indiana. So I will find out more. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to have her on the show and not just me taking notes and reading her quote and the information. But I hope you guys like the video, and I hope you come back to join me. Please like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment. If you guys would like to do a live on a Q&A and maybe just kind of bounce ideas back and forth off of each other, that would be great. So let me know what you guys would like to discuss maybe in a live, or what you would like me to do a video on as far as the Morphew case. So again, thanks guys. Jill the private investigator, and I hope to see you very soon. Thanks for coming, guys, and I am glad you came, and you're always welcome here. Thank you.